We're breaking down another dance practice today, and this time it's going to be the Kai's Rover. This is actually the song that introduced me to Kai, and let me tell you, I actually really enjoyed the song due to the fact that I just loved learning the dance, and when I covered it, I actually had a tough time learning it. This dance has a lot of powerful movement in it and also is very conversational. So this is one of those dances where it makes you feel good about yourself and makes you feel attractive, and it essentially increases your confidence level when you learn it and practice it and then perfect it for the first time. So let's go and break this one down. If you guys haven't followed my Twitch, ladiesman5678, go and follow it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go and roll it, baby. So I really like this intro right here because it brings us in already, and they show the heaviness of the movement right away. So I'm just gonna replay it just so you guys can hear what I'm talking about. They attack the bases, and then they kind of are more on the grounded side when hitting these, when hitting the musicality. That part right there. And even even those two girls that did the extra bounces at the poses, they want to show us that that first part is heavy, very grounded. You're gonna see that they're doing these grooves right here while Kai's singing towards the camera. So while Kai was singing towards the camera, right, that groove is actually really tough to do because it's not something that you could just learn and then it looks good right away unless you're just a professional dancer and you're just natural at everything. It's one of those things where it's like it has layers to its movement. At first you'll have the neck that was a little bit more isolated, and then you have the body which is on the fluid side, and then you have the bounciness of it. So it's kind of like a 3-layer thing, and you have to be able to know and be aware of your body to do that type of thing. And then they also did this hip move that they did, which is again another groove that had more than one layer to it. And then you'll have this mini section where they kind of attack this part, so that way the girls can get introduced as they run off. That was a really good reveal effect for the girls. It was like a slow reveal, but it didn't overdo it. So like we'll go back when the guys leave, right? You'll have Kai in front of the camera, and then they're essentially now formed into this line. And what I love about what the girls are doing is that they have this like aura where they're not trying to overtake Kai. They're not trying to overtake Kai, but they have this like performance value or facials that draw you in, where it's like, yo, these ladies are killing it. Like they have a certain posture and a certain character that they're trying to play when it comes to this song and performing it alongside with Kai. Because Kai is really talented and you have to match his stage presence, but not overtake it. And then we'll go to the chorus. I think this chorus, when I first learned it, it was one of the more challenging choruses that I've learned in terms of like K-pop covers. And it's not necessarily the moves themselves, but it's how it's done. So I like the chorus a lot because it attacks a lot of parts in your body. So you have the shoulders, you have your leg that's actually stomping on the ground. Not only that, you also have your thumb or end of your hand. You're gonna go ahead and just do a thumbs down like at the end of one of those moves, right? So essentially you're not really doing one entire move constantly. You're actually doing a polyrhythm because you're doing the constant movements from your actual footwork, and then you have the shoulders, and then you have this. So that's why that makes that entire chorus actually a lot more challenging, because the moves itself, not complicated. However, the way they're being done is what makes it complicated. And then everything else after that, where they kind of switch from left to right, right to left, they're doing a little bit more footwork and they're doing a little bit more body rolls. That's where the conversational part kind of comes into. That's what you use to bring out the character of the actual song. So when you're covering it, you want to use that part to really use your performance or your facials up here to bring people in. And it's very strong. So because the chorus itself actually is arm focused, you don't want to have flaily arms. You want to have energy through from your entire arm all the way down to your fingertips. Something to point out with Kai in this dance practice is literally his facials and his stage presence. It's actually insane. I'm gonna go back before we get to the guys section. I actually really appreciate this section with the girls here. They choreographed it, or whoever choreographed it. I believe it's Bada Lee and somebody else, J-Rick. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love the way that they kind of staged the girls in how they actually approach Kai. They're not really coming onto him, but it's more conversational towards him, which I really like. Great way to travel those two to the front. And now they go off, and this was a really nice section of attacking the camera before the chorus. I want to point that out, okay? So I'm going to point this out. This is like a, it's not really like a glide, but they used they used the footwork to kind of make it seem smooth to attack the camera rather than running at it. It was very light. And then they're going to go ahead and attack the chorus here. Again, very arm focused. You see the footwork there. And you'll see that Kai's a little bit more aggressive with it. You got the body rolls. And you got the grooves. And you see that little smirks that he's doing? You want to emulate that if you're trying to cover this. Nice roll-off effect. I think that was such a really like clever roll-off slash scrolling effect. So it's two effects, essentially two effects in one. They're doing a catch-up effect, right? But they're also doing a roll-off effect where like it's essentially like to kind of visualize it better, a domino effect. So while that's happening, they're kind of scrolling to the stage right. For on our side, it's going to be on the left. But they did the sliding as they were doing the domino effect. While Kai is going to go and end up to center. Oh, dude, I love effects like those because it's just visually appealing. And they got nice poses here too. Come on, bro. Low-key, I might steal that. Cool, like, clock effect that they did there. They split up into these, like, rows. And then Kai's gonna do this, like, around the world with his arms or some shit. And then they kind of help imitate that movement by doing this, like, rotational thing with their bodies. I will put the footage over it so you guys can see it. But essentially, it's just gonna be this part right here. That's cool. It's you know, nothing crazy, but it's nice. Good way to move people around by just making it chaotic. Just by making it chaotic. I love how like they move all of them around without really having like a set way of moving them around. It was more on the chaotic side. Obviously it was set, but they wanted to make it look like it was like chaotic so you don't really pay attention to what's going on, and then everybody gets their spots like exactly. And they kind of change up the choreo here for the last part, which I love. Love that bass hits that they did. I'm just gonna go back to it just so you guys can see it. The triple bass. I think it's triple bass. Right here, right here. Damn. Again, love the split off here. Catch-up effect right there. Same groove from the very beginning, except now they were sitting down or squatting. And just the way that Kai's executing this, and just the way that he's looking at the camera and how he is drawing us in with his character. God damn, he's unmatched, bro. Unmatched. This guy's wildin'. I think Kai has very powerful movement, and what really draws me in for Kai is the way that he performs the choreo. With this, he was, at least with Rover, it was very aggressive and very powerful, but at the same time, he can bring it back and make it conversational. So while there's a lot of arm work and core work, actually, it was a very fun dance practice to watch because it was like one of those, again, one of those dances that make you feel good about yourself. And then it's just, dude, Kai's just crazy, bro. Kai's just crazy. If y'all like Kai and y'all want me to break down another dance practice, go ahead and subscribe. Peace.